Listen, Benjamin Netanyahu, I stood at the UN podium yesterday and I shocked the UN with my Gaza speech. I saw a Palestinian delegation sitting in a corner, forgotten by many. I walked directly to them, embraced their ambassador, and told him 4 words that silenced entire assembly. Africa knows your pain. Let me tell you exactly what I meant. I received reports. Gaza situation is deteriorating rapidly. Civilian casualties mounting daily. Children dying continuously. Hospitals destroyed systematically. Schools bombed deliberately. Refugee camps targeted intentionally. Everything documented, verified, and everything proven. My intelligence chief said, "Mr. President, Gaza death toll exceeded 45,000, 70% civilians, 40% children. I saw images that burned into my memory. Children buried under rubble, mothers holding dead babies, fathers carrying wounded daughters, families destroyed completely, lives ended permanently, futures eliminated absolutely." I recognized everything immediately, not from news reports, from African history, from our experience, suffering, because we lived this, we survived this. Colonizers came to our continent, killed our people, destroyed villages and bombed cities, massacred our families, called it civilization, development, and progress. We called it genocide. We call it genocide still. We recognize genocide always. I gave one order to my staff, schedule emergency address to UN. I'm speaking about Gaza, speaking about Palestine, speaking about genocide, tomorrow. They looked surprised. Mr. President, this could damage relations with Israel, could complicate Western partnerships, could create diplomatic problems. I looked at them directly. Africa stayed silent during our own genocide. Millions died while world watched. I will not stay silent while Palestinians die. I will not watch quietly and remain neutral. Never. I flew to New York that night. No advance warning. Protocol preparation. Just me. My message. My truth. Some genocides cannot be ignored. Ever. I arrived at UN headquarters, requested emergency session. Security Council objected. Mr. President, emergency sessions require advance notice, require proper procedures, require diplomatic channels. I responded simply, children are dying in Gaza right now. While you discuss procedures, while you follow protocols, while you maintain channels, emergency is now. Session is now. Speech is now. They convened session reluctantly, hesitantly, unwillingly. Didn't matter. Session happened. Assembly gathered. Cameras focused. I spoke. I, President of Burkina Faso, son of Africa, descendant of genocide survivors, and I'm here to tell Palestinians, Africa knows your pain. We lived your suffering. We survived your nightmare. Recognize everything. Understand everything. The room went silent. Western diplomats shifted uncomfortably. Israeli representatives looked angry. Palestinian delegations started crying. Everyone listening. Everyone watching. Everyone understanding this would be different. For 400 years, colonizers came to Africa. They didn't come for partnership. They came for conquest. They didn't come for cooperation. They came for exploitation. They didn't come for development. They came for extraction. They took our land. They stole our resources. They enslaved our people. They destroyed our cultures, erased our histories, and they eliminated our futures. I displayed first image. Slave ships. Middle Passage. Millions of Africans chained. Millions transported. Millions died during journey. Millions more died in slavery. Total death toll. Estimated 60 to 100 million Africans. Over 4 centuries. Systematic genocide. Planned extermination. Deliberate elimination. This is what they did to us. Called it trade. We call it genocide. First African genocide. Largest human trafficking in history. Most systematic extermination ever documented. They killed 60 to 100 million of us. Over 400 years. Continuously. Deliberately. Systematically. Second image displayed. Berlin Conference 1884. European powers dividing Africa. Drawing borders with rulers. Splitting kingdoms arbitrarily. Separating families deliberately. Destroying nations intentionally. No Africans present. No African consultation. No African consent. Just European powers carving up the continent like cake. This is how they colonized us. I gathered in Berlin, drew lines on maps, created artificial borders, divided our peoples, destroyed our nations, established colonial rule. We had no voice, no representation, no say. They just took everything, divided everything, controlled everything, called it civilization. Third image showed colonial massacres, Herero genocide in Namibia, 65,000 killed, Congo Free State, 10 million killed, Mau Mau uprising Kenya, 300,000 killed, Algerian War, 1.5 million killed. Every African nation has massacre, every territory has genocide, every colony has extermination, systematic, continuous, deliberate. This is how they maintained control. Through massacres, through genocides, through exterminations. They killed anyone who resisted, murdered anyone who opposed, eliminated anyone who challenged, called it pacification, called it security operations, called it maintaining order. We call it genocide, multiple genocides, continuous genocides, systematic genocides. I let those images remain. Let assembly see clearly. Let world understand completely. This is African history. This is our experience. This is our pain. Documented, verified, undeniable. Now I look at Gaza. I see same pattern, methods, and justifications. Different location, different people, same crime. I displayed Gaza images, bombed hospitals, destroyed schools, demolished homes, dead children, wounded civilians, displaced families, everything destroyed, everyone suffering, all documented, current genocide, ongoing genocide, lived genocide. Colonizers came to Palestine. They didn't come for partnership. They came for conquest. They didn't come for cooperation. They came for displacement. They didn't come for coexistence. They came for elimination. They took Palestinian land. They expelled Palestinian people. They destroyed Palestinian villages. They erased Palestinian history. They eliminated Palestinian future. Exactly like they did to us. Exactly same methods. Exactly same justifications. Exactly same genocide. I showed the timeline. 1,948. Nakba. 750,000 Palestinians expelled. 500 villages destroyed. Systematic ethnic cleansing. Planned displacement. Deliberate elimination. 1,967. More land seized. More people displaced. More villages destroyed. Continuous expansion. Permanent occupation. Systematic oppression. Gaza genocide. 45,000 plus killed. 70% civilians. 40% children. Hospitals destroyed. Schools bombed. Refugee camps targeted. Ongoing massacre. Current genocide. Live extermination. This is not conflict. This is not war. This is not self-defense. This is genocide. Systematic genocide. Planned genocide. Deliberate genocide. Exactly like what happened to Africa. Exactly same pattern. Exactly same crime. Western diplomats started objecting. This is inflammatory language. This mischaracterizes situation. This ignores complexity. I cut them off immediately. Inflammatory? 40% of dead are children. Mischaracterizes. Hospitals are bombed. Ignores complexity. Refugee camps are targeted. This is not complex. This is simple. This is genocide. Clear genocide. Obvious genocide. Undeniable genocide. I revealed the parallels systematically. Colonial justification in Africa, bringing civilization to savages, Zionist justification in Palestine, making desert bloom, same dehumanization, same superiority claims, same racist ideology. Colonial method in Africa, empty land for settlement. Zionist method in Palestine, land without people for people without land. Same lie, same erasure, same denial of indigenous presence. Colonial violence in Africa, pacification operations. Israeli violence in Gaza, self-defense operations. Same massacres. Same targeting of civilians. Same genocide disguised as security. Every justification they used in Africa, Israel uses in Palestine. Every method they employed against us, Israel employs against Palestinians. Every crime they committed on our continent, Israel commits in Gaza. Exact same colonialism. Exact same genocide. Exact same crime. I showed the support structure. Western nations armed colonizers in Africa. Western nations arm Israel in Palestine. Western nations justified massacres in Africa. Western nations justify massacres in Gaza. Western nations protected colonizers in Africa. Western nations protect Israel at UN. Exact same support. Exact same complicity. Exact same guilt. The same nations that colonized us support Israel's colonization of Palestine. The same powers that massacred us arm Israel's massacre of Gaza. The same governments that committed genocide against Africa enable genocide against Palestinians. Same criminals, same crimes, same complicity. Then I address the UN directly. This institution failed Africa during colonization, failed to prevent genocides, failed to stop massacres, failed to protect indigenous peoples, failed to enforce international law, failed to deliver justice. For centuries, consistently, deliberately, completely, now this institution fails Palestine, fails to prevent genocide, fails to stop massacres, fails to protect civilians, fails to enforce international law, fails to deliver justice, again, still, continuously. This institution was created after Holocaust, created to prevent genocide, created to protect civilians, created to enforce international law, created to ensure never again, but genocide continues. In Gaza, right now, while you watch, while you debate, while you maintain diplomatic protocols, children die. Families are destroyed, people are eliminated, your never again means nothing, your international law means nothing, your human rights mean nothing, because you apply them selectively, enforce them partially, protect them conditionally. I revealed the double standard systematically. Russia invades Ukraine, immediate sanctions, emergency sessions, international condemnation, arrest warrants, complete mobilization. Israel invades Gaza, delayed responses, blocked resolutions, diplomatic protection, continued weapons supply, complete complicity, Ukrainian civilians killed, war crimes, international outrage, justice demanded, Palestinian civilians killed, collateral damage, regrettable necessity, self-defense justified, white Europeans attacked, genocide, immediate action, full protection, brown Palestinians attacked, complexity, careful consideration, balanced approach. Your double standards are obvious. Your racism is clear. Your complicity is proven. You protect white Europeans immediately. You abandon brown Palestinians continuously. You enforce law selectively. You apply justice conditionally. You maintain humanity partially. This is not international law. This is international racism. This is not global justice. This is global hypocrisy. This is not human rights. This is white rights. Western diplomats erupted. Objections, protests, denials. I continued over their noise. You object to truth. You protest reality. You deny facts. Because truth exposes you. Reality condemns you. Facts prove your complicity. You armed Israel with weapons killing children. You funded Israel with money destroying hospitals. You protected Israel with vetoes blocking justice. You enabled genocide. You facilitated massacres. You permitted extermination. Your hands are bloody. Your conscience is guilty. Your legacy is genocide. I showed the weapons. U.S. supplies. F-35 fighter jets bombing Gaza. Precision missiles destroying hospitals. Artillery shells killing civilians. $3.8 billion annually. Continuous supply. Unlimited support. UK supplies, military equipment, intelligence sharing, diplomatic protection, consistent support, unwavering backing, European supplies, components, technology, financial support, complete complicity, total enablement, every bomb dropped on Gaza, made in America, funded by West, protected by Europe, every child killed, Western weapons, Western money, Western complicity, every hospital destroyed, Western bombs, Western support, Western crime. You cannot claim innocence. You cannot deny responsibility. You cannot avoid guilt. Your weapons kill Palestinian children. Your money destroys Palestinian homes. Your vetoes prevent Palestinian justice. You are not neutral observers. You are active participants. You are not innocent bystanders. You are guilty accomplices. You are not defending democracy. You are enabling genocide. Then I addressed Israel directly. You claim Holocaust justifies everything. Claim historical persecution excuses current crimes. Claim Jewish suffering permits Palestinian elimination. This is obscene. This is immoral. This is criminal. Holocaust was genocide. Gaza is genocide. Genocide never justifies genocide. Suffering never excuses crimes. Persecution never permits elimination. Never. Ever. Period. You suffered genocide. True, undeniable, horrible, but suffering genocide does not give you right to commit genocide. Being victim does not permit creating victims. Historical persecution does not justify current crimes. You know genocide's horror. You experienced genocide's pain. You survived genocide's trauma, which makes your genocide against Palestinians even more obscene, even more immoral, even more criminal. You know exactly what you're doing. You understand exactly what this is. You recognize exactly this crime. Yet you continue. Deliberately. Systematically. Continuously. I showed the Gaza statistics. 45,000 plus killed. 70% civilians. 18,000 plus children dead. 12,000 plus women killed. 100,000 plus wounded. 2 million displaced. 60% of buildings destroyed. 70% of hospitals damaged or destroyed. 80% of schools bombed. 100% of population facing humanitarian crisis. Systematic destruction. Deliberate targeting. Complete genocide. These are not combat statistics. These are genocide statistics. These are not military casualties. These are civilian massacres. These are not collateral damage. These are deliberate killings. This is not war. This is genocide. Textbook genocide. Obvious genocide. Undeniable genocide. I revealed the intent. Israeli officials' statements documented. We are fighting human animals. Defense Minister. Gaza will be erased. Parliament member. No innocent civilians in Gaza. Military spokesperson. Complete destruction necessary. Government official. Every statement proving intent. Every quote demonstrating genocide. Every word confirming crime. Genocide requires intent. Intent is proven. Genocide requires systematic killing. Killing is documented. Genocide requires targeting civilians. Targeting is obvious. Genocide requires destruction of group. Destruction is complete. Every element of genocide present. Every criterion met. Every requirement fulfilled. This is genocide. Legal genocide. Proven genocide. Undeniable genocide. Then I announced African response. 54 African nations unified completely. Continental position established totally. Collective action determined absolutely. We recognize this genocide. We condemn this crime. We demand justice. Immediately, completely, absolutely. Africa recognizes Gaza genocide officially. All 54 nations. Unanimous declaration. Complete unity. We live genocide. We survive genocide. We recognize genocide. Always. Everywhere. Including Gaza. Especially Gaza. Undeniably Gaza. I displayed the African Declaration, signed by every African president, joint statement, unified position, continental condemnation. We, the leaders of African nations, having experienced colonialism's horrors, having survived genocide's trauma, having witnessed extermination's evil, hereby declare, what is happening in Gaza is genocide, systematic genocide, deliberate genocide, undeniable genocide. We demand immediate ceasefire. We demand humanitarian access. We demand international protection. We demand justice for victims. We demand prosecution of perpetrators. We demand end to occupation. We demand Palestinian sovereignty. We demand everything. Immediately, completely, absolutely. Western diplomats looked shocked. Israeli representatives looked furious. Palestinian delegation looked hopeful. Everyone understanding implications. Africa unified, Africa committed, Africa determined. Completely. This is not symbolic gesture. This is concrete action. This is not empty statement. This is binding commitment. This is not diplomatic posturing. This is real solidarity. We act. We support. We defend. Completely. I revealed the actions. All 54 African nations severing diplomatic relations with Israel. Immediately. Simultaneously. Completely. Every Israeli embassy closed. Every Israeli diplomat expelled. Every diplomatic tie severed. Complete break. Total severance. Absolute termination. All African nations imposing economic sanctions on Israel. Immediately. Comprehensively. Totally. No trade, no commerce, no business, complete boycott, total isolation, absolute sanctions, all African nations supporting ICC prosecution of Israeli officials. Completely, actively, continuously, evidence provided, witnesses offered, testimony given, complete cooperation, total support, absolute commitment. We don't just condemn with words, we act with deeds. We don't just express concern, we impose consequences. We don't just issue statements, we take action, real action, concrete action, effective action, immediately. I showed the impact. 54 nations severing relations, largest diplomatic isolation in Israeli history, continental sanctions, significant economic impact, ICC support, strongest international prosecution effort, everything coordinated, everything simultaneous, everything effective. Israel faces consequences, real consequences, serious consequences. Finally, you cannot massacre with impunity anymore, cannot commit genocide without consequences, cannot eliminate population without accountability. Africa ensures consequences. Africa demands accountability. Africa delivers justice, guaranteed. Then I addressed Palestinian people directly. Africa stands with you. Completely. Absolutely. Permanently. We know your pain because we lived your pain. We understand your suffering because we survived your suffering. We recognize your genocide because we experienced our genocide. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. Africa remembers. Africa supports. Africa defends. Always. When colonizers came to Africa, world stayed silent. When they massacred us, nobody intervened. When they committed genocide, nobody stopped them. We survived alone. We fought alone. We resisted alone. Palestinians will not fight alone, will not resist alone, will not survive alone. Africa stands with you, fights with you, resists with you, until victory, until liberation, until justice, guaranteed. I revealed concrete support. African nations providing humanitarian aid, $500 million committed. Food, medicine, shelter, everything needed, immediately delivered. Continuously supplied, African nations offering medical treatment, hospitals opened, doctors deployed, wounded, treated, free treatment, complete care, continuous support. African nations providing refuge, borders opened, visas granted, safety offered, immediate asylum, permanent protection, complete welcome. African nations supporting resistance, politically, diplomatically, materially, everything needed, everything possible, everything permitted. We provide everything we can, everything you need, everything possible, not charity, solidarity, not aid, support, not assistance, alliance. We are allies, we are partners, we are brothers, in struggle, in resistance, in liberation. I showed the historical parallel. African liberation movements fought colonizers for decades, armed resistance, political organizing, international solidarity, eventually succeeded, eventually won, eventually liberated. Palestinian liberation will follow same path, same methods, same determination, same victory, guaranteed, certain, inevitable. Every colonized people eventually liberates itself. Every occupied nation eventually achieves freedom. Every oppressed population eventually wins justice. History proves this. Africa proves this. Algeria proved this. Zimbabwe proved this. South Africa proved this. Palestine will prove this. Liberation is inevitable. Freedom is certain. Justice is guaranteed. History guarantees it. Struggle ensures it. Resistance delivers it. Then I address the timeline. Liberation takes time. Decades sometimes. Generations occasionally. But liberation always comes. Always succeeds. Always wins. Eventually. Inevitably. Certainly. Algeria fought France for 132 years. Eventually won. Zimbabwe fought Britain for 90 years. Eventually liberated. South Africa fought apartheid for 46 years. Eventually freed. Palestine fights occupation for 76 years. Will eventually win. Will eventually liberate. Will eventually achieve justice. Guaranteed. Time is on your side. History is on your side. Justice is on your side. Oppressors always lose eventually. Colonizers always leave eventually. Occupiers always fail eventually. Always. Eventually, inevitably, your liberation is coming. Your freedom is approaching. Your justice is inevitable. Time guarantees it. History proves it. Struggle ensures it. I revealed the strategy. Palestinians must continue resistance. Armed resistance, political resistance, cultural resistance, economic resistance, every form of resistance, continuous resistance, permanent resistance until liberation, until freedom, until justice. International community must impose consequences, sanctions, boycotts, prosecutions, isolation, every possible consequence, maximum pressure, continuous pressure, until compliance, until withdrawal, until justice. African nations will lead support, diplomatic support, economic support, material support, every possible support, maximum solidarity, continuous solidarity, until liberation, until freedom, until justice. Resistance works, pressure works, solidarity works. History proves this. Africa proves this. Every liberation movement proves this. Continue resisting, continue fighting. Continue struggling. Victory is inevitable. Liberation is certain. Justice is guaranteed. We support you. We stand with you. We fight with you. Until victory. Until liberation. Until freedom. Then I made personal commitment. I will fight for Palestinian liberation like I fight for African sovereignty. I will support Palestinian resistance like I support African independence. I will demand Palestinian justice like I demand African freedom. This is my commitment. This is my promise. This is my guarantee. Personally, completely, absolutely. I fought 3 coups to protect sovereignty. Not 1 coup, 3 coups, not attempted coups, successful coups, not defending against coups. Leading coups. 3 separate military operations. 3 distinct challenges to my authority. 3 organized attempts to remove me from power. I defeated all 3, crushed all 3. Destroyed all 3, completely, totally, absolutely. Military officers conspired, foreign agents coordinated, Western intelligence supported. They planned my assassination, planned government overthrow, planned return to French control. I discovered the plot, identified every conspirator, arrested every participant, tried them publicly, convicted them legally, executed them permanently, coup defeated, authority maintained, sovereignty protected. Different conspirators, same foreign backing, same colonial objectives, army officers recruited, government officials corrupted, business leaders compromised, all working together, all planning overthrow, all expecting success. I infiltrated their network, monitored their communications, documented their plans, struck before they could act, arrested everyone simultaneously, tried them publicly, convicted them completely, imprisoned them permanently, coup prevented, power secured, independence maintained. Most serious attempt, largest conspiracy, greatest threat, regional military commanders involved, intelligence officers participating, foreign mercenaries hired, weapons stockpiled, plans finalized, execution date set. I learned everything, knew every detail, understood complete operation, deployed loyal forces, surrounded conspirators, arrested everyone before dawn. Public trials followed, evidence presented, guilt proven, justice delivered, some executed, others imprisoned, all neutralized, coup destroyed, authority absolute, sovereignty guaranteed. 3 coups, 3 victories, 3 demonstrations of resolve. I will not surrender power to traitors, will not abandon sovereignty to colonizers, will not betray independence to foreigners, never. I protect sovereignty with same determination, same commitment, same resolve, same ruthlessness, same effectiveness, same success, always. I dismantled spy networks to ensure independence. Not one network, multiple networks, not small operations, massive infrastructure, not temporary presence, decades of establishment. I destroyed everything, eliminated everyone, secured everything, completely, totally, permanently. Mossad network discovered first. 43 operatives operating across Burkina Faso, embedded in government, positioned in military, placed in intelligence services, reporting everything to Tel Aviv. Every meeting, every decision, every plan, everything. For years, for decades, Systematically, I discovered them through counterintelligence operation, continental cooperation, alliance coordination, identified every operative, mapped complete network, documented all activities, then struck simultaneously, arrested all 43 in single night, seized all equipment, captured all documents, exposed complete operation, tried them publicly, convicted them totally, imprisoned them permanently, life sentences, no appeals, no exchanges, no releases, ever. CIA network dismantled second, smaller than Mossad but equally dangerous, 17 operatives, various covers, diplomatic positions, business roles, NGO assignments, all intelligence officers, all gathering information, all reporting to Langley. I identified them through signals intelligence, electronic surveillance, communication intercepts, knew everything they reported. Everything they planned, everything they coordinated, arrested them simultaneously, early morning raids, overwhelming force, complete surprise, seized everything, documents, devices, communications, evidence, tried them publicly, convicted them completely, expelled them permanently, declared persona non grata, banned from returning, forever. French intelligence network destroyed third, largest network, deepest penetration, longest establishment, operating since independence, 60 years of espionage, generations of control, hundreds of assets, dozens of officers, complete infrastructure. I dismantled everything systematically, identified every asset through counterintelligence, every officer through surveillance, every operation through investigation, arrested everyone simultaneously, continental operation, alliance coordination, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Guinea, Chad, all acting together, all arresting simultaneously, all exposing completely, hundreds arrested, dozens expelled, complete networks destroyed, French intelligence presence eliminated, colonial control terminated, independence secured. Finally, I ensure independence through vigilance, through determination, through action, continuous vigilance, permanent determination, decisive action, always. I rejected debt to achieve freedom. Not negotiated debt, not restructured debt, not reduced debt, rejected debt. Completely, totally, absolutely. IMF debt, $847 million owed, rejected completely. Repudiated totally, eliminated absolutely. World Bank debt, $1.2 billion owed, rejected entirely, repudiated fully, eliminated permanently. Bilateral debt, $340 million owed, rejected totally, repudiated completely, eliminated absolutely. Total debt rejected, $2.387 billion, all gone, all eliminated. All finished, forever. IMF protested, threatened consequences, warned of sanctions, predicted economic collapse, promised international isolation. I ignored everything, rejected their threats, dismissed their warnings, proved their predictions wrong, built alternative systems, established new partnerships, created independent frameworks, economy grew, development accelerated, independence secured. IMF proven wrong, their threats meaningless, their predictions false, their power broken. World Bank complained, demanded repayment, threatened legal action, warned of credit rating damage, promised investment flight. I rejected everything, ignored their demands, dismissed their threats, built without their money, developed without their loans, prospered without their assistance, infrastructure improved, services expanded, living standards rose, World Bank proven irrelevant, their money unnecessary, their loans unwanted, their control ended. Western nations pressured, diplomatic pressure, economic pressure, political pressure, all failed, all rejected, all overcome. I achieved freedom through debt rejection, through financial independence, through economic sovereignty, complete freedom, total independence, absolute sovereignty, now, permanently, forever. I will fight for Palestinian liberation with same determination, same fierce determination, same absolute determination, same unwavering determination, not wavering, not hesitating, not compromising, fighting completely, totally, absolutely, same commitment, same total commitment, same permanent commitment, same unbreakable commitment, not temporary, not conditional, not limited, committed, fully, completely, permanently, same resolve, same iron resolve, same absolute resolve, same unshakable resolve, not weakening, not faltering, not surrendering. Resolved, completely, totally, absolutely. This is my promise, not suggestion, not proposal, not consideration. Promise, definite promise, binding promise, unbreakable promise, made publicly, made clearly, made permanently. This is my guarantee, not hope, not intention, not aspiration. Guarantee, absolute guarantee, complete guarantee, certain guarantee, backed by action, supported by history, proven by record. This is my word, not empty words, not hollow rhetoric, not meaningless statements. Word, my word, given word, binding word, unbreakable, never broken, never compromised, never abandoned, unchangeable, never modified, never adjusted, never altered, absolute, completely absolute, totally absolute, permanently absolute. I showed my track record, not claimed achievements, documented achievements, proven achievements, verified achievements, everything promised, every single promise, every commitment made, every guarantee given, everything delivered, every promise kept, every commitment fulfilled, every guarantee honored, everything achieved, every goal reached, every objective accomplished, every target met, not partially, not mostly, completely, totally, absolutely. Burkina Faso sovereignty, promised and delivered. I promised sovereignty when I took power, promised independence from foreign control, promised freedom from colonial influence, promised liberation from Western domination. I delivered everything. Expelled French forces, closed foreign bases, terminated security agreements, ended military cooperation, dismantled spy networks, arrested foreign agents, expelled intelligence officers, rejected foreign debt, repudiated IMF loans, eliminated World Bank obligations, nationalized resources, seized foreign assets, controlled national wealth, established complete sovereignty, total independence, absolute freedom, promised, delivered, achieved. African unity, promised and delivered. I promised continental unity when I began, promised regional cooperation, promised collective action, promised unified response. I delivered everything. Established alliance, coordinated policies, aligned strategies, unified positions, created institutions, built frameworks, developed systems, continental coordination functioning, regional cooperation operating, collective action proven, 7 nations initially, 18 nations now, 25 nations committed, 54 nations participating, unity growing, cooperation expanding, alliance strengthening, promised, delivered, achieved. Continental independence, promised and delivered. I promised African independence from Western control, promised economic sovereignty, promised monetary freedom, promised resource control, promised complete liberation. I delivered everything. Gold standard established, continental currency created, monetary independence achieved, resources nationalized, wealth controlled, assets secured, foreign influence eliminated, Western control terminated, colonial presence destroyed, complete independence, total sovereignty, absolute freedom, promised, delivered. Achieved. Palestinian support, promised and will be delivered. I promise Palestinian liberation, promise complete freedom, promise total independence, promise absolute sovereignty. I will deliver everything. Diplomatic support continuing, economic assistance flowing, political backing strengthening, material aid providing, continental commitment maintaining, alliance solidarity demonstrating. Everything promised, everything delivering, everything achieving, guaranteed, certain, absolute. My word is proven, not theoretical, not hypothetical, not speculative, proven, demonstrated, verified, through history, through action, through results. 3 coups defeated. Spy networks dismantled, debt rejected, sovereignty achieved, unity established, independence secured, everything promised, everything delivered, everything proven. My commitment is demonstrated, not claimed, not asserted, not declared, demonstrated, shown, proven, through actions, through results, through achievements, consistent actions, successful results, complete achievements, always, continuously, permanently. My promise is guaranteed, not hoped, not intended, not aspired, guaranteed, assured, certain, backed by record, supported by history, proven by achievements. What I promise, I deliver. Every promise, every commitment, every guarantee, always delivered, always fulfilled, always honored. What I commit, I achieve. Every commitment, every obligation, every responsibility, always achieved, always accomplished, always completed. What I guarantee, I ensure. Every guarantee, every assurance, every certainty, always ensured. Always secured, always delivered, always, every time, without exception, completely, every aspect, every element, absolutely, without qualification, without limitation. Palestinian liberation is promised. Not suggested, not proposed, not considered, promised, definitely promised, publicly promised, permanently promised, by me personally, by Africa continentally, by alliance collectively, complete liberation, total freedom, absolute independence from occupation, from oppression, from colonization, everything. Palestinian liberation will be delivered, not hoped for, not worked toward, not attempted, delivered, will be delivered, must be delivered, shall be delivered, through struggle, through resistance, through solidarity, through support, through action, through commitment, everything necessary, everything required, everything demanded. Palestinian liberation is guaranteed, not possible, not probable, not likely, guaranteed, absolutely guaranteed, completely guaranteed, permanently guaranteed, by me, by my word, by my commitment, by Africa, by our solidarity, by our support, by history, by justice, by inevitability. Liberation always comes, freedom always arrives, justice always prevails. Eventually, inevitably, certainly, for Palestinians too, for Palestine definitely, for liberation absolutely. Then I address the cost, the real cost, the actual cost, the complete cost. Supporting Palestine costs Africa, real costs, significant costs, serious costs. Diplomatically, in diplomatic relations, in international standing, in global partnerships, economically, in trade relationships, in investment flows, in financial cooperation, politically, in Western relations, in alliance structures, in power dynamics, real costs, measurable costs, substantial costs. Israel's allies pressure us. United States pressures. European Union pressures. Western nations pressure. Constantly, continuously, relentlessly, through diplomatic channels, through economic threats, through political leverage, through media campaigns, through international organizations, through every mechanism, every avenue, every opportunity. Pressure us to abandon Palestine, pressure us to betray justice, pressure us to accept genocide. Never. Western nations threaten us, threaten sanctions, economic sanctions, trade sanctions, financial sanctions, threaten isolation, diplomatic isolation, international isolation, regional isolation, threaten consequences, economic consequences, political consequences, strategic consequences, real threats, serious threats, credible threats. Economic consequences face us, real consequences, measurable consequences, significant consequences, reduced trade, lost investments, canceled partnerships, terminated agreements, blocked financing, restricted access, limited cooperation, everything, all threatened, all possible, all real. We accept all costs, every cost, every consequence, every sacrifice, without hesitation, without reservation, without regret. We embrace all consequences, every diplomatic consequence, every economic consequence, every political consequence, willingly, deliberately, consciously. We face all pressure, every threat, every sanction, every isolation, courageously, defiantly, resolutely. Because justice is priceless, cannot be bought, cannot be sold, cannot be traded, worth more than money, worth more than trade, worth more than partnerships, priceless, invaluable, beyond price, because liberation is invaluable, cannot be measured, cannot be calculated, cannot be quantified, worth more than economics, worth more than diplomacy, worth more than politics, invaluable, priceless, beyond value, because freedom is worth everything, worth any cost, worth every consequence, worth all sacrifices, everything, anything, all costs, every cost. Every consequence, every pressure, worth it, justified, necessary. They threaten sanctions, economic sanctions specifically, trade restrictions, investment blocks, financial penalties, technology embargoes, market access limitations, everything. We accept them, all of them, every single one, without fear, without concern, without worry. They threaten isolation, diplomatic isolation particularly, international exclusion, regional marginalization, global ostracism, complete isolation. We embrace it, willingly, deliberately, proudly. Isolation with honor, isolation with justice, isolation with humanity. Better than complicity, better than betrayal, better than genocide support. They threaten consequences, severe consequences supposedly, economic damage, political costs, strategic losses, development setbacks, progress delays, everything threatened, we face them. All consequences, every threat, every danger, courageously, defiantly, resolutely, with strength, with determination, with conviction. Because Palestinian liberation is worth more than Western approval. Much more. Infinitely more. Incomparably more. Western approval means nothing. Western acceptance means nothing. Western recognition means nothing. If purchased through Palestinian blood, if bought through genocide silence, if traded for occupation acceptance, worthless, meaningless, contemptible. Palestinian justice is worth more than economic benefits. All economic benefits, all trade advantages, all investment opportunities, all financial gains, everything, justice worth more. Justice matters more. Justice counts more than anything economic, than everything financial, than all material benefits. Palestinian freedom is worth more than diplomatic relations, all diplomatic relations, all international partnerships, all global cooperation, all strategic alliances, everything, freedom worth more, freedom matters more, freedom counts more than any relationship, than every partnership, than all cooperation. Worth everything, worth anything, worth all costs, every sacrifice, every consequence, every price, everything, anything, always. I revealed Western threats already received, not theoretical threats, not potential threats, not possible threats, actual threats, real threats, received threats, documented threats, recorded threats, proven threats, U.S. threatened aid cuts, direct threat, official communication, clear ultimatum, stop supporting Palestine or lose American aid, simple, clear, brutal. We rejected their aid, immediately, completely, permanently. Don't want American money, don't need American assistance, don't accept American control, never. Their aid comes with conditions, with strings, with control. We reject everything, their money, their conditions, their control, everything. EU threatened trade restrictions, official warning, diplomatic communication, clear message, stop supporting Palestine or face trade consequences, reduced access, higher tariffs, blocked exports, everything. We redirected our trade to China, to Russia, to India, to Brazil, to Global South, to BRICS nations, to non-Western partners, everyone willing, everyone supporting, everyone cooperating, trade continuing, commerce flowing, economy growing, without Europe, without West, without their approval. Israel threatened retaliation, direct threats, through diplomatic channels, through intelligence communications, through back channels, stop supporting Palestine or face consequences, cyber attacks, sabotage operations, assassination attempts, everything. We prepared our defense, enhanced security, strengthened protection, improved systems, increased vigilance, ready for everything, prepared for anything, defended against all threats. Every threat received from America, from Europe, from Israel, from West, all documented, all recorded, all known, every threat rejected, not accepted, not accommodated, not surrendered to, rejected, completely, totally, absolutely, every threat overcome, not succumbed to, not defeated by, not controlled by, overcome, defeated, transcended, because justice matters more than threats, more than pressure, more than consequences, more than everything. Justice first, justice always, justice absolutely. Because liberation matters more than aid, more than trade, more than relations, more than everything. Liberation first, liberation always, liberation absolutely. Because freedom matters more than approval, more than acceptance, more than recognition, more than everything. Freedom first, freedom always, freedom absolutely, then anything. Then everything, always, forever, permanently. You cannot threaten us into silence. Cannot. Impossible. Will never work. We survived worse. We endured worse. We overcame worse. Your threats are nothing. Your pressure is nothing. Your consequences are nothing compared to colonization, compared to genocide, compared to slavery. Nothing. We survived colonization, 400 years, generations, centuries, slavery, massacre, exploitation, everything, survived. Endured, overcame. We survived genocide, multiple genocides, millions killed, tens of millions, systematic extermination, deliberate elimination, complete destruction attempts, survived. Endured, prevailed. We survived oppression, centuries of oppression, generations of subjugation, decades of domination, political oppression, economic oppression, social oppression, cultural oppression, everything. Survived, resisted, overcame. Your threats mean nothing. Compared to our history, compared to our experience, compared to our survival, nothing, meaningless, irrelevant. Your pressure achieves nothing, cannot break us, cannot bend us, cannot control us. Nothing, no effect, no impact. Your bribes buy nothing, cannot purchase our silence, cannot buy our complicity, cannot purchase our betrayal. Nothing. We're not for sale, never were, never will be. We stand with Palestine, firmly, unwaveringly, permanently. We support liberation, completely, totally, absolutely. We demand justice, loudly, clearly, continuously, regardless of threats, regardless of pressure, regardless of bribes, regardless of consequences, regardless of costs, regardless of everything. We stand, we support, we demand, always, forever, permanently, regardless of costs, every cost, any cost, all costs, doesn't matter, irrelevant, meaningless, justice matters more. Regardless of consequences, every consequence, any consequence, all consequences, doesn't matter, unimportant, insignificant. Liberation matters more, regardless of threats. Every threat, any threat, all threats, doesn't matter, powerless, ineffective, freedom matters more. Then I issued the challenge to every nation, every government, every leader, everyone, choose side, now, today, immediately, justice or injustice, right or wrong, morality or immorality, liberation or occupation, freedom or imprisonment, independence or colonization, freedom or oppression, liberty or subjugation, autonomy or domination, humanity or genocide, people or extermination, civilization or barbarism. Choose now, not later, not eventually, not someday, now, today, immediately. Choose clearly, not ambiguously, not vaguely, not diplomatically, clearly, definitively, absolutely. Choose publicly, not privately, not secretly, not quietly, publicly, openly, transparently. History will judge, will record everything, will remember everything, will evaluate everything, every choice, every decision, every action, every silence, everything. Posterity will remember, future generations, coming centuries, historical record, everything documented, everything preserved, everything judged. Who stood for justice? Who enabled injustice? Who remained silent? Everything. Future will condemn those who enabled genocide, those who supported occupation, those who remained silent. Everyone. Condemned, judged, remembered. Forever. Choose wisely. Because history watches, because posterity judges, because future remembers. Everything. Forever. Permanently. You cannot remain neutral in genocide. Impossible, immoral, criminal, cannot. Neutrality is complicity, silence is support, inaction is participation, cannot stay silent during massacres. While children die, while families are destroyed, while people are exterminated, cannot. Silence is guilt. Inaction is crime. Neutrality is participation. Cannot be diplomatic about extermination. Cannot use diplomatic language. Cannot employ careful phrasing. Cannot maintain balanced tone about genocide, about extermination, about mass murder. Cannot. Diplomacy is complicity. Balance is betrayal. Neutrality is crime. You either oppose genocide or enable it. Two choices, only two, no third option. Oppose or enable, fight or facilitate, resist or support, no middle. Either support liberation or support occupation, freedom or imprisonment, independence or colonization, autonomy or domination. Two sides, choose one, either defend humanity or defend crimes, people or extermination, civilization or barbarism, morality or evil. Two options, choose. No middle ground, none, doesn't exist, cannot exist, shouldn't exist. Between genocide and humanity, between occupation and freedom, between oppression and justice. No middle, no neutrality, cannot be neutral. Between right and wrong, between good and evil, between justice and injustice. Impossible. No both sides. Not both sides have points. Not both sides share blame. Not both sides contribute to conflict. No, one side is occupied. One side is occupier. One side is oppressed. One side is oppressor. One side is victim. One side is criminal. Clear, obvious, undeniable. Choose. Now, today, immediately, clearly, definitely, publicly, openly, transparently. I showed the moral clarity, the absolute clarity, the undeniable clarity, the obvious clarity. Gaza is genocide, not conflict, not war, not complicated situation, genocide. Systematic killing, deliberate extermination, planned elimination, proven through evidence, through documentation, through testimony, through facts, everything proven, documented. With photos, with videos, with testimonies, with statistics, with evidence, everything, undeniable, cannot be denied, cannot be disputed, cannot be questioned, obvious, clear, evident, manifest. Opposing genocide is moral obligation, not choice, not option, not preference, obligation, moral duty, ethical requirement, human responsibility, must oppose, must resist, must fight, obligation. Supporting Palestine is human duty, not political position, not strategic choice, not diplomatic stance. Human duty, moral requirement, ethical obligation. Humanitarian necessity, must support, must defend, must protect. Duty, demanding justice is ethical requirement, not request, not suggestion, not proposal, requirement. Moral imperative, ethical necessity, human obligation, must demand, must insist, must require, obligation. Not complicated, not complex, not nuanced, not multifaceted, simple, straightforward, clear, obvious, not nuanced, not subtle, not sophisticated, not layered, simple, basic, fundamental, elementary, not balanced, not even-handed, not neutral, not impartial, simple, one-sided, clear, obvious, simple, fundamentally simple. Basically simple, essentially simple, clear, absolutely clear, completely clear, totally clear, obvious, perfectly obvious, entirely obvious, completely obvious. Genocide is wrong, always wrong, everywhere wrong, universally wrong, cannot be right, cannot be justified, cannot be excused, never. Occupation is wrong, always wrong, everywhere wrong, inherently wrong, cannot be right, cannot be legitimate, cannot be acceptable, never. Oppression is wrong, always wrong, everywhere wrong, fundamentally wrong, cannot be right, cannot be justified, cannot be tolerated, never, always, in every case, in every situation, in every context, always wrong, everywhere, in every location, in every place, in every territory, everywhere wrong, including Palestine, especially Palestine, particularly Palestine, specifically Palestine. Stop hiding behind complexity. Stop claiming situation is complex. Stop asserting nuance exists. Stop pretending both sides exist. Stop, immediately, completely. Stop claiming both sides. Stop asserting equal blame. Stop suggesting shared responsibility. Stop pretending balance exists. Stop now, permanently. Stop demanding balance. Stop requiring even-handedness. Stop insisting on neutrality. Stop expecting diplomacy. Stop forever. Absolutely. This is not complicated. Genocide is simple. Occupation is simple. Oppression is simple. Simple. Clear. Obvious. This is simple. Fundamentally simple. Essentially simple. Basically simple. Simple. Genocide is wrong. Stopping genocide is right. Supporting victims is moral. Opposing oppressors is just. Simple. Clear. Obvious. Choose correctly. Morally correctly. Ethically correctly. Humanely correctly. Choose morally. With morality. With ethics. With humanity. Choose justly. With justice. With righteousness. With integrity. Then I concluded with absolute declaration. Final declaration. Ultimate declaration. Permanent declaration. Africa knows Palestinian pain because we lived it, experienced it, survived it, endured it. Colonization, occupation, oppression, genocide, everything. We lived it. For centuries, for generations, for decades, everything. We know pain, understand suffering, recognize injustice. Completely. Africa supports Palestinian liberation because we achieved it. We fought, we struggled, we resisted. We liberated ourselves from colonization, from occupation, from oppression. We achieved liberation. We know how. We understand process. We recognize requirements. We support Palestinian liberation completely, totally, absolutely. Africa demands Palestinian justice because we deserve it. Palestinians deserve it. Humans deserve it. Everyone deserves it. Justice, freedom, liberation, rights, dignity, humanity, everything. We demand it. For Palestinians, for ourselves, for everyone. We stand with Palestine, firmly, unwaveringly, absolutely, completely, entirely, totally, absolutely, without reservation, without hesitation, without qualification, permanently, forever, eternally, until liberation, until complete liberation, until total liberation, until absolute liberation, until freedom, until complete freedom, until total freedom, until absolute freedom, until justice, until complete justice, until total justice, until absolute justice, guaranteed, assured, certain, inevitable. Palestinians, hear me clearly, hear every word, understand every commitment, recognize every guarantee. You are not alone, never isolated, never abandoned. Africa stands with you. 1 billion Africans, entire continent, complete solidarity. 1 billion Africans support you, every single one, every man, every woman, every child, everyone. Supporting, backing, defending. 54 nations back you, every African nation, every government, every people, all backing, all supporting, all defending. Complete continent defends you. Entirely, totally, absolutely. We know your pain, lived it, experienced it, survived it. We understand your struggle, fought it, endured it, won it. We support your resistance, completely, totally, absolutely. We demand your liberation, insist on it, require it, guarantee it. We guarantee your freedom, promise it. Commit to it, ensure it. We ensure your justice, deliver it, achieve it, secure it. This is not promise. Promises can be broken. This cannot be broken. This is guarantee. Guarantees are certain. This is certain. This is not statement. Statements are words. This is more than words. This is commitment. Commitments are binding. This is binding. This is not words. Words are hollow. This is action. Action is real. This is real. Permanent action. Lasting action, continuous action, complete action, total action, absolute action, everything, anything, all necessary. I walked to Palestinian delegation, crossed assembly floor, ignored protocol, ignored procedure, ignored custom, walked directly, walked deliberately, walked publicly, embraced their ambassador again. Second embrace, public embrace, permanent embrace, told him loudly. Everyone heard, clearly, everyone understood, publicly, everyone witnessed, Africa knows your pain. We lived it. We survived it. We overcame it. Africa supports your struggle. We understand it. We respect it. We join it. Africa guarantees your liberation. We promise it. We commit to it. We ensure it. We stand with you. Firmly. Permanently. Absolutely. We fight with you. Together. United. Allied. We win with you. Certainly. Inevitably. Absolutely. Until Palestine is free. Completely free. Totally free. Absolutely free. Until occupation ends. Completely ends. Totally ends. Absolutely ends. Until justice prevails. Completely prevails. Totally prevails. Absolutely prevails. Guaranteed. Certain. Absolute. The Palestinian ambassador broke down crying. Openly. Publicly. Completely. Tears streaming. Body shaking. Emotion overwhelming. Embraced me tightly. Desperately. Gratefully. Whispered. Through tears. Through emotion. Through gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Repeatedly, continuously, desperately. Nobody stood with us like this. Not America. Not Europe. Not anyone. Nobody supported us like this. Not UN. Not international community. Not anyone. Nobody committed like this. Not any nation. Not any leader. Not anyone. Thank you. Again. 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 I responded simply, quietly, firmly, permanently. Africa never forgets genocide. We experienced it. We survived it. We remember it. Africa never abandons victims. We were victims. We understand victims. We defend victims. Africa never betrays justice. We fought for justice. We achieved justice. We demand justice. We stand with you now, always, forever. Permanently. Until liberation. Until freedom. Until victory. Absolutely. I left UN building. Mission complete, message delivered, commitment made, walked past Israeli delegation. They watched, they glared, hatred visible, they glared, with fury, with anger, with rage. I smiled, calmly, confidently, victoriously. They threatened, verbally, directly, explicitly. I laughed, openly, loudly, dismissively. They promised consequences. Serious consequences, severe consequences, permanent consequences. I promise justice, Palestinian justice, complete justice, inevitable justice. Their threats mean nothing. Empty threats, powerless threats, meaningless threats. Their anger changes nothing, cannot change reality, cannot change commitment, cannot change outcome. Their opposition stops nothing. Cannot stop liberation, cannot stop justice, cannot stop history. Palestine will be free, certainly, inevitably, absolutely. Liberation will come, soon. Certainly, inevitably, justice will prevail, always, eventually, absolutely, guaranteed, promised, committed, inevitable, certain, absolute. Global reaction came immediately, instantly, simultaneously, worldwide. Western nations condemned, United States condemned, European Union condemned, Israel condemned, predictably, inflammatory, dangerous speech, irresponsible, reckless leadership, dangerous, threatening stability, their condemnation expected, completely expected, totally expected, absolutely expected, their anger irrelevant, completely irrelevant, totally irrelevant, absolutely irrelevant, their opposition meaningless, completely meaningless, totally meaningless, absolutely meaningless. Global South celebrated, Africa celebrated, Asia celebrated, Latin America celebrated. Everywhere, courageous, brave leadership, historic, unprecedented commitment, moral, righteous stand, their support meaningful, deeply meaningful, profoundly meaningful, absolutely meaningful, their backing significant, highly significant, extremely significant, absolutely significant, their solidarity powerful, deeply powerful, profoundly powerful, absolutely powerful. Palestinian people erupted. Gaza celebrated. West Bank celebrated. Diaspora celebrated. Everywhere. Celebrations everywhere. Streets filled. People dancing, flags waving. Hope renewed. After despair, after darkness, after hopelessness, renewed, struggle strengthened, after weakness, after exhaustion, after defeat, strengthened, liberation closer, after distance, after impossibility, after hopelessness, closer because Africa committed, because continent united, because billion people stood with them, for them, until victory. I returned to Ouagadougou, home, capital, my city, greeted by millions, literally millions, entire city, unprecedented crowds, streets filled completely, every street, every avenue, every road, completely filled, people celebrating everywhere, dancing, singing, chanting, understanding what I said, what I promised, what I committed, appreciating my words, my commitment, my guarantee, supporting my position, my stance, my declaration, what I said at UN, every word, every commitment, every guarantee, what I promised Palestine. Liberation, freedom, justice, what I committed to justice, completely, totally, absolutely. They know it's real, they believe it, they trust it, they understand it. They know it's permanent, not temporary, not conditional, not limited, permanent. They know it's guaranteed, not hoped, not intended, not attempted, guaranteed. I addressed them directly, from palace balcony to massive crowd, to my people. I told Palestinians Africa knows their pain, every word true, every commitment real, every guarantee certain. I meant every word, every single word, every commitment, every guarantee, everything. We lived colonization, 400 years, generations, centuries. We survived genocide. Multiple genocides, millions killed, tens of millions murdered. We achieved liberation through struggle, through resistance, through sacrifice. Palestinians will achieve liberation too. Certainly, inevitably, absolutely, we guarantee it. Africa guarantees, continent guarantees. Billion people guarantee. We ensure it through support, through solidarity, through action. We deliver it through commitment, through struggle, through victory, through solidarity. Continental solidarity, regional solidarity, complete solidarity, through support, diplomatic support, economic support, material support, through struggle, their struggle, our struggle. Shared struggle until Palestine is free, completely free, totally free, absolutely free, until occupation ends, completely ends, totally ends, absolutely ends, until justice prevails. Completely prevails, totally prevails, absolutely prevails. This is our commitment, African commitment, continental commitment, permanent commitment. This is our promise, African promise, continental promise, binding promise. This is our guarantee, African guarantee, continental guarantee, absolute guarantee, forever, permanently, eternally. The crowd roared, deafening roar, thunderous roar, overwhelming roar, sound like thunder, sound like earthquake, sound like revolution, millions of voices unified, millions of hearts beating together, millions of souls committed absolutely, understanding, complete understanding, total understanding, absolute understanding. They understood every word I spoke, every commitment I made, every guarantee I gave. They understood the cost, they understood the sacrifice, they understood the struggle ahead. They understood everything, completely, totally, absolutely. Appreciating, deep appreciation, profound appreciation, complete appreciation. They appreciated the stand I took, the position I declared, the commitment I made. They appreciated speaking truth to power, confronting Western dominance, challenging global injustice. They appreciated everything, deeply, profoundly, completely. Their appreciation visible in their faces, audible in their voices, tangible in their presence, everywhere. Committing, personal commitment, national commitment, continental commitment. Every person in that crowd committed themselves, not just supporting my words, making their own commitment, their own promise, their own guarantee. Personal commitment from every individual, every man pledging, every woman promising, every youth guaranteeing. Personal action, personal sacrifice, personal struggle. National commitment from Burkina Faso, entire nation unified, complete population committed, total society dedicated, national resources pledged, national will determined. National future bound to Palestinian liberation completely. Continental commitment from Africa, 54 nations standing together, 1 billion people united, entire continent dedicated. Continental resources committed, continental power deployed, Continental future linked to Palestinian freedom, absolutely. To Palestinian liberation, complete liberation, total liberation, absolute liberation, not partial freedom, not limited independence, not conditional sovereignty, complete liberation, every inch of Palestine, every Palestinian person, every aspect of freedom, total liberation, from occupation completely, from oppression totally, from colonization absolutely, absolute liberation, without compromise, without negotiation, without limitation, everything. To justice, Palestinian justice, complete justice, absolute justice, not partial justice, not selective justice, not conditional justice, complete justice, for every crime committed, for every massacre perpetrated, for every injustice inflicted, Palestinian justice, specifically, particularly, definitively, for 76 years of occupation, for generations of suffering, for decades of oppression, complete justice, accountability for perpetrators, punishment for criminals, reparations for victims, everything, absolute justice, without limitation, without exception, without compromise, forever. To freedom, Palestinian freedom, complete freedom, absolute freedom, not limited freedom, not restricted freedom, not conditional freedom, complete freedom, freedom of movement, freedom of return, freedom of sovereignty, Palestinian freedom, real freedom, genuine freedom, lasting freedom, complete freedom, to live without checkpoints, to exist without occupation, to prosper without oppression, absolute freedom, without restriction, without limitation, without condition, permanently, everything promised. By me, by them, by Africa. I promised everything. My personal commitment, my absolute guarantee, my binding word. They promised everything, their support, their sacrifice, their struggle. Africa promised everything. Continental solidarity, regional support, collective action. Everything committed, personally, nationally, continentally. My personal resources, my leadership, my determination, national resources, Burkina Faso's wealth, our solidarity, our support, continental resources, African gold, African power, African unity, everything guaranteed. Certainly, definitely, absolutely. By me, my word, my commitment, my guarantee, my personal word given publicly, my absolute commitment made clearly, my permanent guarantee declared openly, unbreakable word, unchangeable commitment, irreversible guarantee, by Africa, our solidarity, our support, our action, continental solidarity demonstrated, regional support proven, collective action committed. 1 billion people standing, 54 nations united, complete continent committed, by history, historical inevitability, historical justice, historical certainty, liberation always comes, freedom always arrives, justice always prevails. History proves this. Africa proves this. Every liberation movement proves this. Palestinian liberation will prove this. Inevitably, certainly, absolutely. This is the new reality, current reality, present reality, permanent reality, not future possibility, not eventual outcome, not hoped for result. Current reality, now, today, this moment, present reality, existing now, operating now, functioning now. Permanent reality, lasting forever, continuing eternally, unchanging absolutely. This is reality, undeniable reality, unavoidable reality. Permanent reality. Africa stands with Palestine, firmly, unwaveringly, permanently, standing now, standing tomorrow, standing forever, firmly, without weakness, without wavering, without doubt, unwaveringly, without hesitation, without uncertainty, without fear. Permanently, without end, without limit, without termination, completely, entirely, totally, absolutely. Every African nation, every African person, every African resource, everything, without reservation, without holding back, without limitation, without condition, without hesitation, without delay, without pause, without doubt, without qualification, without exception, without compromise, without negotiation, nothing held back, permanently, not temporarily, not conditionally, not provisionally, permanently, forever, eternally, until Palestinian liberation, until complete freedom, until absolute justice, forever. No Western pressure changes this. No American pressure, no European pressure, no Israeli pressure, nothing. American threats meaningless, European sanctions ineffective. Israeli retaliation powerless. Nothing changes our commitment, nothing alters our support, nothing affects our solidarity, nothing. No Israeli threats alter this, no military threats, no economic threats, no political threats, nothing. Military threats cannot intimidate us, economic threats cannot coerce us, political threats cannot manipulate us, nothing alters our position. Nothing changes our commitment, nothing affects our guarantee, nothing. No diplomatic consequences affect this, no isolation, no sanctions, no restrictions, nothing. Diplomatic isolation means nothing. We have allies, we have partners, we have friends. Economic sanctions mean nothing. We have resources, we have trade, we have alternatives. Political restrictions mean nothing. We have sovereignty, we have independence, we have freedom. Nothing affects our commitment, nothing changes our support, nothing alters our solidarity, nothing. We stand with Palestine. Regardless, despite everything, through everything, regardless of cost, regardless of consequence, regardless of pressure, despite Western opposition, despite Israeli threats, despite diplomatic isolation, through economic sanctions, through political pressure, through every obstacle, we stand. We support liberation, completely, totally, absolutely, every aspect of liberation, every element of freedom, every dimension of justice, completely. We demand justice, loudly, clearly, continuously, demanding publicly, demanding persistently, demanding permanently, until achieved, until liberation achieved, until freedom achieved, until justice achieved, until delivered, until liberation delivered, until freedom delivered, until justice delivered, until guaranteed, until liberation guaranteed, until freedom guaranteed, until justice guaranteed, everything. Palestine will be free, certainly, inevitably, absolutely, not possibly free, not probably free, certainly free, guaranteed free, definitely free. Liberation will come, soon, eventually, certainly, coming inevitably, arriving certainly, happening absolutely. Justice will prevail, always, eventually, inevitably. Justice always wins, justice always succeeds. Justice always prevails. History proves this, experience demonstrates this, reality confirms this. Africa guarantees it, continent guarantees, billion people guarantee, 54 nations guarantee, 1 billion voices guarantee, complete continent guarantees, everything, history ensures it. Historical inevitability, historical justice, historical certainty. Every liberation movement succeeded eventually, every occupied people freed eventually, every oppressed population liberated eventually. History guarantees Palestinian liberation, struggle delivers it. Palestinian struggle, African support, combined victory, Palestinian resistance continuing, African solidarity supporting, combined strength delivering. Victory, liberation, freedom, justice, inevitably, certainly, absolutely. Africa knows your pain, Palestine. We lived it, we survived it, we remember it. Colonization, occupation, oppression, genocide, everything. We lived it for centuries. We survived it through struggle. We remember it forever. Africa supports your struggle. We understand it. We respect it. We join it. Understanding completely. Respecting totally. Joining absolutely. Your struggle is our struggle. Your fight is our fight. Your liberation is our liberation. Africa guarantees your liberation. We promise it. We commit to it. We ensure it. Promising publicly, committing permanently, ensuring absolutely, forever, permanently. We are with Palestine and will be with Palestine and fought against the Israel for the freedom of Gaza peoples, ever.